Perfect timing. So as we come to a seated position, oh, my audio is going to be super jacked this time because I totally forgot my headphones. Actually, hold on. I'm going to go get my headphones real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, see if this works. These headphones always break when I try to get them working last minute, but hey, we'll give it a try. So we're going to come to a seated position. Anywhere on the mat is fine. I'm just going to take a moment here and connect into ourselves. So bring a little bit of awareness into this body. I think my headphones disconnected. Please wave at me if you can't hear me anymore. All right, so we'll just settle in, knees below your hips if possible. It's the best way to sit. Gets your pelvis in the right alignment to have a full seat, full and wonderful seated position. So as we start to listen to our breath and focus on our bodies, maybe start to draw out the breaths a little bit longer than they were before. Just maybe inhale on a count of 3, 2, 1, and exhale 3, 2, and 1. Good. Inhale for 3, 2, 1, and exhale 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, you're going to raise your arms up to the sky. And just keep your arms here as you exhale. Notice your shoulder alignment and just check in with your body as you hold some space above your head. Good. On the next inhale and exhale, twist over to your right. Left arm on right leg as we find a gentle twist. Maybe look over the right shoulder. As we inhale, find a little bit of length through the spine, all the way through the crown of the head. And as we exhale, twist maybe a little deeper. One more inhale. Exhale deeper. Good. And as we inhale, we'll come back up to center. And exhale to the second side. Inhale, find a little bit of length. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale one more time. And exhale deeper. Good. Inhale brings your arms up to either side of your face. Good. And hold that space above your crown for 2 more breaths, focusing on your ribs, your core, and make sure that your ribs are not flaring out. So activate your core to maybe pull in, knit your ribs together as you raise your arms above your head. Almost like you're holding an imaginary ball between your hands. Good. Exhale brings your hands down to your side. And then for a gentle neck stretch on the inhale, you're just going to bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Good, and find a spot that's comfortable for you. So you might find that turning your chin towards your shoulder or turning your chin to look up to the corner of the room brings a little bit more awareness and length to a part of your neck that is tighter. For me, it's just about right here, looking about 20% down. Good. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale to the second side. Take a moment to explore and find the part of your neck that is tight. And breathe into it. Bring a little bit more awareness into the parts of your body that deserve it. Well, all parts deserve it, but some parts demand it. Inhale back to center. Good. So we're going to interlace the hands and bring it to the base of the skull. So almost as though you're grabbing just under where the skull comes in, where the spine comes into the skull. And you're going to do as an active exercise. On the inhale, you're going to open your heart up to the sky, looking up without collapsing in the neck. And then as you exhale, bring your elbows together, dome your shoulders, almost like you're coming into a cow position, and use the hands holding onto the head, perhaps to find a little bit more length in the cervical spine. Good. Inhale, open the heart to the sky. Exhale, dome the shoulders, come on forward. Inhale, heart to sky. And exhale, dome your shoulders one last time. Good, come back to center. You're going to drop your right arm to the ground. This time you're going to take your hand, just gently lie it on the side of your head. So your left hand to your right, the right side of your head. And we're going to take a moment here to open up the neck again. So you're gently pulling with your left hand to the right side. And as you do this, take your right hand out to the side to begin with, as though you're pushing the world away from you. And explore where the sensation is with your arms. So maybe bring your arm down, maybe bring your arm up. You're looking to find a little bit of an activation and extension in the latissimus dorsi, the big triangular muscle along your back. And breathe into that sense of tension. Just let it release a little. Good. Inhale back to center. And we're just going to switch sides. So your right arm now comes to the left side of your head. Find a little bit of an opening. And then you'll bring your left arm out to the side and find that place. So your arm, you might feel it here, you might feel it down below. You're basically looking to extend through the left arm and explore the sensation that you get throughout your lower neck, upper back, and just breathe into this sensation. Good, and then inhale back to center, hands on your knees. Gently close your eyes and find some intention or focus for your practice today. So your intention is your focus, your mantra, your guiding light, something to hold on to as we go through the flow. Maybe it's just your breath. Beautiful. Good. We're going to come into a tabletop position. So come forward, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Ever notice how the energy of a class completely changes depending on your mood? Good. On the inhale, we're going to come into a cow position, dropping your belly to the earth, bringing your heart through the window of your arms. And then exhale, dome your shoulders, pull your abdomen in, tuck your tailbone on the exhale into a cat-like position. Good. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Good. One more time, cow. And exhale, cat, one final time. And then inhale to a neutral position. You're gonna bring your left foot back, tuck your toes. We're just opening up the hamstrings and the calves a little bit here. Maybe you rock back and forth a little. You're just looking for sensation in the back of the leg. Nothing too intense just yet. Good. And then on the inhale, you're gonna raise that left foot up and back. And then on the exhale, you're gonna bring your left foot forward to your left side so that your toes point to the front of the mat. We're just gonna be here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Set it down. Good. And we'll bring the right foot back, tuck the toes, opening up the hamstrings. And then on the inhale, raise your right foot up and back. And on the exhale again, you'll bring that foot forward, parallel with the ground, toes pointed to the front of the mat, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Set it down. Good. This time you're gonna bring your left foot back and keep it up, raised up to the sky. And then if your balance allows, you're gonna raise your right arm to this in front of you. And if this is uncomfortable or unbalanced, you can set your right arm down, but we're just gonna crunch. So on the exhale, you're gonna bring elbow to knee. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Good. One last time. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Good. On the inhale, open up one more time. And then bend your left foot and maybe windmill your arm back behind you and see if you can catch the outside edge of your right foot, sorry, your left foot with your right hand. Good. And then on the exhale, set it down. Inhale brings that right foot up and back. And again, if your balance allows it, maybe bring that left hand forward. And then exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. And now again, bend that right knee. Maybe windmill your arm back behind you as the left arm catches the outside edge of the right leg. This is an active pose, so you should be pushing your leg into your hands. You should be pushing your foot into your hands. Good, and set it down. Tuck the toes. Maybe raise your knees above the mat to activate the core. Tabletop knees an inch above the ground for 3, for 2, and for 1. Raise your hips up and back. Maybe keep your knees bent for now as you come into a bent-legged downward facing dog. And notice how when you bend your knees, maybe let your belly hang, maybe come in contact with the tops of the legs. Notice how that changes the sensation in your shoulders and in your upper back. Good. And then when you're comfortable here, maybe start to straighten the legs, but don't sacrifice the integrity of your arms as you come into a downward dog position. Remember, the goal here is not to bring your heels to the earth. Good. Inhale brings that left foot up and back. And exhale, bring the left foot forward. Bring your right knee to the earth. And untuck your right toes as you come into a low crescent lunge or Anjaneyasana on the first side. So today, I want you to really focus on the iliopsoas, the psoas, which is this muscle, this big muscle that comes across the front of your hips. And if you can raise your arms. You're certainly welcome to get a little bit of a back bend and open up the heart and the shoulders, but you really want to find length and opening in the front of your hips, as these are the guys that like to get super short if you accidentally spent the entire day sitting at your computer without moving, like I did. Good. So we're going to push from here back into a Ardha Hanuman, or half split. So you're just going to straighten that left foot. Maybe bring your toes closer to your face. And maybe forward fold. Gently this time. We haven't really warmed up the hamstrings that much. So you're just going to find gentle opening in your hamstrings as you forward fold in a half splits or Ardha Hanuman position. And I love this pose because it gets into all of your hamstrings, and the way that you change which hamstring you're operating, because there are many different muscles back there, is you just rotate your foot out and in. So if you rotate your foot out, you might find more sensation on the outer hamstrings. If that area is particularly tight for you, you can stay here, or you can rotate your toes inward, noticing how that activates a different part of the back of the leg. Good. And on the inhale, you're going to come back into a low crescent lunge, and we're going to stay here. And you're going to raise your, right arm to the sky as you bring your left hand down beside your hip. So a lot of people like to have a block here for support, but you don't need one. You can just imagine a block. You'll get most of the same benefits. As you perhaps open to the side and get a gentle side bend in the right side of the body as you bring your right arm over to the left side of the mat. Good. Good. Inhale up to low crescent lunge. And exhale, hands to either side of the foot. Tuck your right toes, straighten the right leg, and bring your left foot back to meet the back right, and come back into a downward facing dog. And just take a moment here. You should feel fairly asymmetrical. And just notice how the left and the right sides of the body feel different. Maybe you pedal your feet out. Maybe you shake your hips. Just take inventory in the sensations that your body's feeling today. And on the inhale, you raise that right leg up and back. And exhale brings the right foot forward in between the hands, bringing the left knee to the earth, untucking the left toes as you come up into low crescent lunge on the other side. Oh, what is the Sanskrit name for this? Pretty sure I just said it, but oh well, I forgot. And again, you're looking to open up the psoas in this lovely, gentle pose, and just breathe into it. Maybe push the tops of the left foot into the ground. This should take a little bit of the pressure off of your knee. Good. And on the exhale, you're going to straighten that right leg, come into half splits on the second side. And again, maybe you rotate your foot in or rotate your foot out to find the part of your body that is tight today. And we'll be moving slowly in class today. So I ask that in each of these poses, you just take a little time, maybe find a deeper expression of the pose, and maybe just spend this extra time listening to what your body has to say. Good, on the inhale, we're gonna come back up to low crescent lunge, arms to the sky this time. And this time you're gonna drop your right arm down beside your hip, and you're gonna bring your left arm over to get a gentle side bend, opening on the left side body. Just imagine your hand is on a block. Just imagine the support that's there for you. And know that imagining is 90% of the benefit of having a block in this pose. Isn't that weird? Maybe it's not so weird. Good, inhale up to center. And then exhale, hands to either side of your foot as you tuck your left toes, straighten your left foot and your left leg, and push back into downward facing dog. And again, take a moment to pedal out your legs and notice the sensation. Maybe you feel a little bit more open than you did. Maybe you don't. You certainly don't have to feel open, but I hope you do. And on the inhale, you're going to raise your left foot back up to the sky. And exhale brings the left foot forward between your feet. You're going to keep your back toes tucked and come into a runner's lunge. So runner's lunge, basically, your legs are in a lunging position, hands stay on either side of the foot. And on the inhale, you're going to cow your back. So you're going to open your heart to the world in front of you. And then as you exhale, you straighten your left foot, dome your shoulders, almost like you're coming into a cat. You're just adding the legs to this wonderful sensation. Good. Inhale, come back into a runner's lunge, opening your heart in front of you. And exhale, cat, opening up the back of that left leg. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Good. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Exhale all the air out. And then as you inhale, bring your arms up to either side of your ear. So you're almost like a Superman, high crescent lunge. And then on a count of 3, come all the way up to a high crescent lunge. So inhale for 3, 2, and 1. You made it. We're here. This is all we have to do today. And in this high crescent lunge, just check in with where your body is feeling tight, feeling sore. And try and keep that right leg straight, keeping the right heel above the right toes. Good. And then inhale, open up to a warrior 2. So right heel pivots to the earth. Arms come to either side. And take a moment here and imagine that you were using your arms to push the world away from you. Good. And notice how when you engage the outside edge of the right foot, you might be able to come a little bit deeper. It's the right foot that gives you support as you bend the knee on the left side a little bit more and a little bit more. Good. As you inhale, flip the left hand up to face the sky, and without changing the position of your legs, open the left side body and come into a peaceful warrior. And exhale, come into an extended side angle pose by bringing your left elbow to your left knee and opening your right arm up, coming into a straight line between the ankle and the wrist. And you're using the contact between the left elbow and the left knee, so they should be pushing against each other to open your heart more and more towards the sky. Good. Inhale brings you all the way up to a warrior two. And exhale, windmill your arms to the ground, hand to either side of your foot, tucking your right toes, and make your way however you please to downward facing dog. So you might come into a plank, go down to a chaturanga, inhale up dog, and exhale down dog. Maybe you go straight to a downward facing dog. There's no shame or judgment in knowing what your body needs. And in fact, the most advanced yogis aren't the yogis who can do the most advanced positions. They are the yogis who know how to listen to their bodies. Good. Inhale brings your right leg up to the sky. And exhale brings that right foot forward, keeping the left toes tucked as you come into a runner's lunge on the second side. Good. And just like we did on the other side, on the inhale, you're going to come into a cow-like position with your spine, opening your heart to the world in front of you. And exhale, doming your shoulders, straightening your right leg. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow one more time. Exhale, cat. And inhale, come to neutral. And take a pause here, noticing how your body feels. Taking inventory in where the body, where the legs, and the hips. And then on the inhale, you're going to raise your arms to either side of your ear. And on a count of three, we're just going to come up to a high crescent lunge. So 3, 2, and 1. Good. And again, make sure that left leg is straight if you can. Left toes underneath the left ankles. And maybe opening your heart to the sky. And then on your inhale, you're going to come to a warrior two. So you're going to pivot that left heel down. And again, take a moment and just push the world away with your hands. And notice how activating the outside edge of the left leg lets you bend the right knee a little bit more. On the inhale, flip the right hand and make your way into a peaceful warrior. And as you exhale, bring the right elbow to the right knee as you open up to an extended side angle position on the second side. Use the connection between the right elbow and the right knee to maybe open your heart to the sky a little bit more. Good, and then inhale back to a warrior two. And exhale, windmill your arms to the ground, tucking the left toes and making your way back, however you see fit, to a downward facing dog. Nicely done. Good. Now we're just going to walk up to the front of the mat. So keeping your hands as they are, just step left foot and then right foot forward until you come to a forward fold at the front of the mat. And in this forward fold, just let the neck hang free. Maybe grab opposite elbows and just let gravity do the work for a moment. Maybe shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Good. Inhale brings you to a flat back. Maybe your hands are on the ground or on your shins. And then exhale with a flat back, maybe come into a slightly deeper forward fold. Try and keep your back flat for as long as you can. Good. Inhale brings you all the way up, arms to the sky. And exhale brings your hands forward into prayer at the top of your mat. And take a moment here. Take a moment there. Take a moment here and there. I have been reading too much Dr. Seuss. Good. So we're gonna, in the standing position, you're gonna start by just bringing your left knee up. So bring all of the weight into the right side body. Bend your left knee and maybe grab the left knee with either hand. Yep, how's that for an angle? Good. And once you're in this position, explore with bringing your heart further through the window of your arms. So you really want to get the sensation of bringing your rib cage between your, whatever the upper arms are called, your upper arm bones. And you're just using the leg there as a thing to pull against as you bring your heart further and further forward. And in this pose, maybe you look up. Good. And then without putting your left foot on the ground, we're just going to let go of the left leg. We're going to start by bringing our arms up to the sky and maybe straightening the left leg for 3, for 2, for 1. And then you're going to bring it back behind you. Again, don't let the left foot touch the ground. And your left foot is going to be straight and just pushing back. So this might not feel like much, but your left leg is straight and pushing back. So you're trying to squeeze your glutes and activate your glutes as much as possible without sacrificing the integrity of the pose. Good. And then on the exhale, bring the left foot behind the right so that they are crisscrossed, right leg in front of left. And exhale, forward fold. Don't fall over. Don't follow my example. Good. And enjoy this gentle, twisted forward fold. And if you want a little bit more, you can always bring your arms to the right side of the mat to get a little bit of a twist. Opens up the left side body a little in this forward fold. And then exhale back to center. Uncross your legs. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale even deeper to your forward fold. This time, maybe you can use your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. If you can, that's great. And if you can't, that's even better, because you know how to listen to your body. And if you can't grab your big toes, you can just grab your shins. And what I want you to do is use that upper body strength again to bring your heart forward. So you're not really looking to forward fold more. You're just trying to present your heart to the earth. Just tell Mother Earth how much you love her and that you're really sorry that you missed Mother's Day. Well, at least I did. Good. And then inhale all the way up. And hands forward into prayer one more time. Good. This time we're going to shift the weight into the left foot. Same experience. Bending the right knee, grabbing the right knee with both hands, and then using that knee as leverage to bring your heart through the window of your arms. Oh, don't fall over. Remember, this is a judgment-free class, and all I ask is that you return the favor. Good. And then letting go of the right knee, keeping that right leg up as you raise your arms to the sky, straightening the right foot if you can, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Now don't let the right foot touch the ground. You're just going to bring it back behind you, activating the glutes, keeping the right leg straight. Just trying to bring that right leg back as far as you can without forward folding. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Bring the right foot behind the left so that they're crisscrossed with the left foot in front of the right, and then forward fold. Good. And again, if you want a little bit more, maybe you bring your hands out to the left side this time. I'm feeling pretty tight, so I think I'm not going to do that, but you're certainly welcome to. Good. Then on the inhale, you're just going to uncross your legs, come into a flat back. And exhale, forward fold. And if you want to go even deeper this time, maybe you bring the tops of your palms to the earth and step on your hands so that your toes can tickle your wrists. And when I come into deeper forward folds, I find it often very comfortable to have the feet about 6 inches apart so that the ankles line up with my hips. I find I can forward fold a little bit deeper that way. Maybe you will find the same. Good. And if you're standing on your hands, maybe come off of them. Maybe roll your wrists a little, just to get a little bit of lifeblood into them. And then inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, hands to the sky. Maybe this time you find a gentle back bend. And exhale, hands forward into prayer. Very nicely done. You might think I'm only complimenting myself because that's the only person I can see. But I can feel the love and energy in each and every one of you. And I know through that lovely telepathic connection, which is totally real, I swear, that you are doing a lovely job today. Good. Bring your hands down to either side, palms facing the front world in Tadasana. And Tadasana is an active pose, so this might feel restorative and relaxing, but just notice what parts of your body activate to keep you stable and upright in this position as you bring the weight into the 4 corners of each foot. Beautiful. Good. Now you're going to open your legs about mat width distance. We're going to come into Malasana, or yogic squat. So I like to bring my toes out a little bit. So the key part is to keep your knees in line with your feet as you come on down. Oh, that feels good. Now in Malasana, there are a lot of variations that you can take. I really like sitting on a block in this pose, especially if your inner hamstrings are really tight. And the goal here is to use the connective energy between your knees and your elbows to come into a flat back position. So if you're doming your shoulders and coming forward, well, maybe explore a variation in the pose. So bring the energy of your elbows and your knees pushing against each other as an opportunity to grow the spine, maybe raise the crown of your head to the world above as your tailbone reaches for the world below. Beautiful. And now we're going to forget everything I just said as you release your hands and maybe just crawl your hands forward as far as they can go. The goal here is to open up the lower back, and you might need to adjust your hips in space to find the optimum lower back opening position for you. Maybe you have to raise your hips to the sky. Maybe you have to be lowered. Good. Good, and then slowly walk your hands back underneath. We'll come into Malasana one more time for just a moment. And then we're gonna make our way back to downward facing dog. But you can take your time. If crow pose is in your practice, you can maybe hang out in crow for a few breaths. If crow pose is not in your practice, well, I'm not gonna teach it to you because it's really hard to do. Really hard to spot you virtually. Good. And just make your way back to downward facing dog. And notice how different this downward facing dog feels than that one you did before. Good. Now from downward facing dog, you're just going to bring your knees to the earth and sit back onto your heels for a pose that I love to call, I have no idea what it's actually called, but this pose is called screaming toe pose, at least in my mind. Now screaming toe pose, if this is uncomfortable, if this hurts your toes or hurts your feet, you just bring your hips above your knees. If this is comfortable, you can always sit back more and more. We're just gonna hang out here for a few minutes. You know, maybe a 15-minute meditation. Just kidding. We're gonna be here for a few moments, and what this does, this is really lovely, especially for runners, anyone who's on their feet a lot. So your plantar fascia, so these guys that run along the bottoms of your feet, well, they really like to get tight, and this is a lovely way to open them up. Some days, I just feel like the right thing to do is slow down and focus on the breath and forget about this uncomfortable pose that pesky yoga teacher left us all in today. Oh, hey, I'm the teacher. All right, inhale, come on back up onto your knees. Maybe tap your toes on the top of the mat. Bring some lifeblood back into them. And we are going to sit on down. So you're going to bring your feet to one side, bring your tush to the earth. And for cobbler's pose, you're just going to bring your feet together. And you're going to use the outside edges of your feet pushing together. So this is an active pose, and you really want the outside edges of your feet pushing together, because what you do when they push together is that your knees open more and more. This is a really hard pose to hold if nothing is working. So your legs should be pushing open, your feet should be forcefully pushing together, and you should get a lovely opener on in your hips. Good. And if you're comfortable here, you can stay here, or maybe you start to lean forward just a little bit. Maintaining a flat back is the most important thing here. So don't dome your back just to come further forward. That's like, what's a bad thing to do? That's like borrowing money to go to Vegas to gamble. That seems like a terrible idea. Good. And then inhale brings you back up to center. Lovely idea to continue stretching the neck. Good call, Braden. And then we're gonna bring our feet forward. What are we gonna do? Yes, we're gonna bring our feet forward, feet to the outside edges of our mat, hands behind us, and we're just gonna windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And I don't know if I'm the only one who notices this, but when I do this, I start to creep forward on my mat. So maybe give yourself a little bit of a runway so that you're not falling off the edge of your mat like I just did. Oops. And then we'll come back to center. And you're gonna come to a lie on your back. And we're just gonna take one back bend. So this time around, we're gonna try and do fish pose. Hopefully I can cue it. So you're gonna lie on your back, legs straight. And what you wanna do is you want to bring your elbows, maybe this is the better way to cue it. We're gonna come into a position like this. So you're gonna be on your elbows, but leaning mostly back. And what you want to do is open your heart to the sky as you bring your head back. And you're using the force of you pushing your elbows into the earth to bring your heart further and further through the window of your arms. Then check in with those pesky gossips, those shoulders. Make sure they're not creeping up towards the ears. And you should feel an opening in the upper back. So maybe between your shoulders. Good. And then tuck your chin to your chest as you come on back and lie on the ground. Good. On the inhale, you're going to bring your knees up to the sky. And we're going to find a gentle twist, bringing your knees to the right side first. And opening your left arm out like a T. Maybe you bring your right arm to your left leg. Help open your left side body a little bit deeper. Look over your left shoulder with a closed eyes gaze. Beautiful. And then letting go of your knees if you're holding on to them. Keeping your arms open like a T. You're gonna bring your knees back up to center. And if you can do this without your arms, you should, as you bring your knees over to the left side and find a gentle twist on the second side. Beautiful. Inhale brings your knees back up to center. Maybe give your legs one last hug. Maybe don't. Let your body know that you appreciate it. And then let go. Come all the way down. Almost like you're going to come into Shavasana, but we're just going to do one quick thing first. You're going to try and squeeze as many parts of your body as you can, activating everything for 3, for 2, and for 1. Let it go completely as we come into Shavasana, the final pose of practice. And let go of this place, this space, this breath. And just be for the next 2 or 3 minutes. And just like you let go moments ago, come back slowly into this world. Come back slowly into this place, into this space. But do so mindfully. Bring a little attention with you into this world. Bring more awareness. Bring more attention with you as you bring some awareness into your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists. Maybe your awareness slowly anchors into your body, into your elbows, into your knees, and integrates together through your hips, your shoulders, and the base of your spine. Gently rolling to one side, maybe using your arm as a pillow. And then in your own time, maybe making your way up to a seated position with your eyes closed. Maybe you bring your hands into prayer. Just take a moment. Thank yourself for taking this time, taking this moment of awareness to focus on you. Thank you all for a lovely practice. I'm here every Monday and Wednesday, except I'm not here Memorial Day. I'm going to take that day off just like the rest of us. Namaste.
Thank you, Jan.
And